A second AOS video on this channel in this economy. What in the Emperor's name is going on? So for those of you who are unaware, we got some big rumors the other day about a AOS soft reboot. There's been a lot more stuff that's happened since then. Some more rumor people, part of the AOS TGA forums, have replied to Bull's post, which Bull has now completely deleted. I think he's deleted his account. I say he. They have deleted their account because it was like a bunch of people using that Bull account. But I just want to go through all that. I want to keep people updated about what the hell's going on. I also want to talk about it a little bit as well, because a lot of people have been asking me how I feel about it. Is it something that I would jump on board with? So I just want to jump into that and explore that a bit and give my honest feedback about what I've seen so far, and just really, I want to talk about AOS. I know, it's strange to say that on this channel. Anyway, let's jump in, and of course, let's get waffling. Please remember that everything I'm about to talk about is considered a rumor. We say this with everything we do over on this channel when it talks about rumors. All rumors are lies. If you want to believe it, then believe it. If you don't want to believe it, no skin off my nose. I will say this rumor is not coming from like my whispers that I normally talk about. It's coming from other people's sources on the internet, mainly the TGA forums and stuff like that. So again, if you want to believe the rumors, believe them, but please take rumors for what they are. Rumors are not facts. So let's start with one of the big things, and let's talk about Phil Kelly, because in Bull's post, he said that Phil Kelly is no longer a part of the AOS team. Now, I personally took that he may have left Games Workshop. I was completely wrong. You know, that was just me being Valrak. I'm sorry if I got any confusion here. What apparently happened is that Phil Kelly, according to his LinkedIn, thank you for clearing this up for me, by the way, he was the senior creative lead of Age of Sigmar, and now he's gone over to the senior creative lead of Warhammer 40,000. So he's no longer part of the AOS team. He is now a part of the Warhammer 40,000 team. So that clears that up. Phil Kelly has not left Games Workshop. He's still at Games Workshop. He's still working there. He's just jumped from AOS to Warhammer 40,000. I have no idea what that means for Warhammer 40,000. That means the Tau's going to get more love? Hopefully not, because Tau is the worst race a part of it. Anyway, let's jump now over to the next bit, which is another post that is basically saying Bull has blown this all out of proportion. And that's this post of a guy called Kerr6. Again, this was sent to me by Hyam over on Discord. The TJ forums are just, they're jam-packed at the moment. A lot of stuff is getting lost in all the posting, all the feedback about this. It's a bit of a wild time. But this chap said, apparently, again, he's a rumor guy over there, Bull painted things way too grim and blew it way out of proportion. Honestly, I think the Last World, again, when I say I think, he means he thinks. I think the Last World is not nearly as bad as people are worried about. It just happens to be working on the section. Sorry, I just happen to be working on that section right now. Does that mean this person's a writer? Again, I'm a bit confused with that. So let me use the Cities of Sigmar, for example. In the 5th core book, Cities of Sigmar is split into 2 major nations, each covering an existing Cities of Sigmar. One nation has Hammerhall Gyria as a capital. Hopefully I've not mispronounced that. I probably have. The other is built around Hammerhall Asquia. Sorry. One of them still worships Sigmar, even though he's dead, because the rumor is that apparently Sigmar, of course, gets killed by Archon. I say Archon, I got corrected. It's Archeon Valrak. All right, sorry, Archon, whatever you want to say. While the other, more open, progressive worships Tal. I have no idea who Tal is. There's a ton of plenty of interesting and new lore in there. It's not nearly as bad as Bull has made it to sound. And a lot of people, from the feedback of my video, and we were talking about this on a live stream and stuff, a lot of people were saying, maybe this is actually going to get me into Age of Sigmar, because a lot of people felt kind of like me, where they liked the models of Age of Sigmar, some of the stuff that they were doing, but when it came to the lore, they weren't really interested in it. Like, the realms, like that kind of Stargate thing, what they had connecting, it just wasn't for them. So potentially going back to one planet and having everyone on that one planet may make the story and the lore a little bit more interesting and interwoven, where it's just all happening around the same place rather, across the stars, kind of like, well, Warhammer 40,000 in a way. Now, personally, I actually do like the idea of going back to a planet. That does interest me. That's where I loved the old world. That's where I enjoyed that lore, because you had like the orcs bordering the Empire, the beastmen in the forests and stuff, the Skaven literally underneath the Empire. You had all these cool little geographically locations that really built the world, that made the world up. So if we were to go back to that one world setting, potentially it could make it like that again in the story and make it a little bit more interesting for myself. Something I've also talked about on stream last night is I'm wondering, again, if this does turn out to be true, are they trying to set it up? When I say are they, Games Workshop, are they going to try and set it up like maybe the old world is kind of like the Horus Heresy, and the Last World is going to be like the 40k equivalent? So you have like back in the past type of settings and like this kind of futuristic type of setting, like on one planet and stuff like that. I'm wondering if that is the kind of layup that they want. So again, some of the comments from my comment section and stuff was that people just never connected with like this new AOS lore. It was just, not interested and stuff. So maybe this is what they want to do. This is why they may kind of want to, I keep using the word soft reboot. That's what people keep saying online, so that's what I'm using. But this lore change going forward to try and make the story a little bit more interesting, a bit more dynamic, to drag people in. And maybe as well to set up other franchises based off this, because we were talking on stream last night with a massive success of Total War Warhammer. What about Total War: The Last World, right? Maybe that is something they have plans to do in the future. It's all on one planet again. You're not spreading it out across multiple realms and stuff like that. Maybe this is something in the wagon that they're brewing up as well. Like, it's not just a game system they're planning for, other franchises and other games and stuff going forward in the future for like digital products and stuff like that. Again, that's just my personal take on it. I know there's a lot of talk about this at the moment. Some people still think it's absolute BS, which of course you have the right to do. I will say, like, my first initial thought is that this is a massive troll. Like, someone's trolling, there's no way this is real. But hearing some of the AOS channels, like I'm going to call out Rob from the Honest Wargamer. I watched his live stream breakdown of it, and he heard a few tinglings about this, but he chose never to speak about him. But he is speaking about him now because it's all out in like the limelight, and someone like that. Yeah, I think he, that I choose to believe someone like that with some of the connections that he may have and stuff. So I kind of believe it. I do believe it in a way that maybe they are going back to the Last World. I don't think it's going to be as bad as maybe Boole was making it out, but I definitely think there's going to be a massive shift going forward in the AOS lore, the AOS narrative. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I have absolutely no idea. I know a lot of people concerned about, are their models going to be trashed now? I know that is something absolutely terrible. Hopefully, all the models can still be used. I have no idea what's going to happen. If this rumor does turn out to be true, I'm sure we're going to get new models, but that doesn't make anything right if that means some of your old models that you've invested time, money in, are no longer playable. So I guess we'll have to see what happens now going forward with AOS. But yeah, bit of a wild time at this moment. I'm interested to see what happens now. Are you interested to see what happens? Does this interest you in the product at all? Again, from my standpoint, I am a bit intrigued now. I was never really intrigued with AOS, but going back to that one planet, especially if the rumors turn out are like potentially not AOS Bretonians, not AOS like Empire and stuff like that. If they start bringing that type of look back, then I don't know. It really does. It really could maybe push me into jumping on and maybe getting this game. But again, we'll have to see what the future holds, and we'll see what the rumors hold and all that type of stuff. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching as always. I just thought I wanted to clear this up. Phil Kelly is still there. There's other rumor sources saying it's the world's not ending, the sky's not falling. Calm down. It's not as big as people are making it out to be. So I guess we'll have to just see where this goes from here. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for talking. Talking while I'm talking. Thanks for watching. As always, if you got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below. And we'll have a nice little chin wag down there as we always do. See ya. Have a great day. And bye-bye.